So, welcome back. I'm going to do a really quick review of 3 major exhibitions that we've been to in London. The first one is called Aftermath, Art in the Wake of World War I. Now that's on till the 23rd of September, so you've got about another month to go to that. We went to the Tate Modern and saw Picasso 1932, Love, Fame and Tragedy. That's on till the 9th of September. And The Shape of Light at the Tate Modern, 100 Years of Photography and Abstract Art. That's on to the 14th of October. So a little bit about them all. So first of all, Aftermath. Why would you go to this? Now, I've got to say, it's an exhibition that puts everything into perspective about what happened after the war and art and society through the 1920s and 30s. 10 million people were killed during World War I and 20 million people were injured. And it's by no means the largest death toll or numbers of people injured. You know, we had the flu pandemic, etc., and World War II. But it was the first time that we had so much death and destruction by man against man in this mechanical age, this new mechanical age. And it was looking at the emotional and physical scarring of nations and individuals from the war. So it is very moving. It's not just about soldiers, and it certainly does not glorify war at all. There are no images of being at war, just the results. And it includes everybody, wives, families, friends, society, and what happens to people afterwards as well. It was a real education too, so as you learned a little bit about the symbolism that was going on at the time. So a helmet on the ground represented the death of a soldier, or the helmet on a cross represented a soldier's grave, kind of fairly obviously. And there was a flyover of Ypres where you saw the absolute devastation of the area, and then you contrasted that with a painting from looking on high, looking at mine craters, and they looked like flowers, they looked like daisies on the ground, and that was amazing. So you must prepare to be moved by this, you really must. There were unsettling images of people who had been injured during the war. This was a lot of Henry Tonks and Otto Dix images there, and they were very, very precise, very surgical as well. It was a little voyeuristic, and it was important to remember these were real people. These were real people with those real injuries as well. And then, of course, there were some nightmarish images of the trauma and the psychological aspects of either losing a limb or shell shock, or all the different imaginings that people had at the time as well. So very moving. It really was an education, and you could see how different societies reacted after the end of the war as well, because it went beyond, it went into the 20s and 30s. So certainly for Britain and France, art became quite pastoral and gentle, whereas in Germany, of course, where we have this on the front cover, it's called Grey Day, showing a soldier going by. Really, the society turned in on itself against the elite, against the upper classes. You begin to see workers' rights coming through and images of strikes, etc. And that was all before the Jazz Age started. And you can really see, even in the Art Deco stuff that comes along later, that a lot of people were certainly damaged psychologically, and that really comes out in some of the dancing, the imagery that you see from the jazz club, for instance, as well. Very, very strong images. This show goes beyond the trite and the simplistic. It is really very thought-provoking and very moving. There is emotion in every painting and object, not like what you get today with today's art. It really is provocative. And you look into some of the subjects' eyes and you can see the haunting and the emotion and the struggle that they're going through, even after the war is over, the struggles that they have to go through. So I give this 5 out of 5. It is a real humdinger of an exhibition, really worth going to. So the next exhibition we went to was Picasso, 1932. And this was at the Tate Modern. Now, both the Tate Modern and Tate Britain, they give you little booklets which are really handy because they have all the words that are up on the walls as you go around the exhibition, which is really handy. So you don't have to elbow your way in to read the words on the wall. You can just quite politely read this in the book. So I like that. And of course, you can get to the Tate Modern either by river or you walk across the bridge, which is a really nice way to get to the Tate. And it's an enormous building set on many levels. So, Picasso, 1932, it takes 1 year in his life, and it is quite a substantial and important year in his life as things progress. What I like about it is there's such variety of work that he's producing at this point in time. It really is dramatically different. And of course, they use the classic one on the front cover as well to promote it. Again, that one is really worth going to. He's got a lot of expression in all of his work, whether it's this kind of style, you know, just shows how well he can paint as well. I give that 4 out of 5 because it is 1 year. And whilst he gets a lot done and there's a whole variety and is incredibly prolific during this period, whether it's sculptures or paintings, it is only one little bit of a microcosm. But I still loved it and I would still recommend you to go to that. And finally, we have The Shape of Light, also at the Tate Modern. 100 Years of Photography and Abstract Art. Again, worth going to. I think there was a fair bit of abstract on there, and unfortunately we didn't buy the book because the book was, in comparison to the other books, not so well produced. You know, you see a Pollock, the abstract Pollock there, and then you look in the book and it doesn't look like it. The colours are washed out, you don't see the lines that you see on the art piece itself, so didn't bother with that one. Nice if you want to have an experience with the light and the abstracts and want to learn a little bit more. I'd give that 3 out of 5. So Aftermath, definitely 5 out of 5. Picasso, 4 out of 5. And The Shape of Light, only 3 out of 5. Do go to this one. It really is a humdinger of an exhibition. I'll see you same time, same place. And I'll talk a little bit more about the mandala. And I've got all the pieces ready now, so we'll be ready to go. See you soon.